move the image. Now we worked with spacers and we worked with other things that have allowed us to move. But this next one is sort of like margin in CSS, and it's called offset. You'll probably find yourself using this a lot. So if I say dot offset, it's based off the X and the Y. So X is left to right and Y is up and down. So let's say I wanted to move this to the right a little bit. Well, that would be X. And then I would say, let's say I wanted to move it 20 pixels over. You'll see that it then moves it 20 over. Now, if I want to move it to the left, you just write in the negative value. So let's say I want to push it down. So I'm going to say Y, and let's just say I want to move it 100 pixels. And you'll see that it moves 100 pixels down. If I write negative, you'll see that that fixes that. So that's a quick way to move things in the position how you want. If you want to inch things over a little bit, use offset. It's a great tool, and you'll probably find yourself using that a lot more. Now, the other thing that you might want to do is you might want to actually change the size of your image by default. And you'll see that over here in the attributes inspector, there is a width and a height, and you can use that, but I prefer to use the code. It's just a little bit simpler to do. But remember, if I try to write any type of code to make this bigger or smaller, then theoretically it won't work, simply because we haven't told the image it needs to be resizable. So in order to do that, what I need to do is go in down here, and if I say right under the image resizable, you'll see that it resizes. If you try to write it down here, it won't know that you're talking about the image, and resizable won't turn up in purple. So I'm going to say resizable, and if you wanted to, you could do that scale to fit. But in this case, I'm going to use, I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. And the way that we do that, you'll see that this is called frame. And that's what I'm going to type. I'm just going to type dot frame. And this is fine. Now, what I don't want, I'm not really worried about the alignment. Remember, we talked about alignment a little bit in some other videos, but I don't need alignment. All I need is the width and the height. So let's just say that I wanted the width to be 300 and I wanted the height to be 300. You'll see that now the image is 300 by 300. If I say 200 by 200, you'll see that now it's 200 by 200. And this is a cool way to get this to work. Now, you also can give this min widths and max widths and things like that. So in order to do that, I will erase this. I'm just going to say max, and we need to give it a capital max width. And let's just say the max width is 100 pixels here, and you'll see that the max width is only going to be 100 pixels. So that's a way that you can get that to work here. And sometimes you may want to give something a max width where you're saying, hey, you cannot go over this size here. So that's a quick way to get things to resize and to move things.